This video will be about rebalancing your investment portfolio. We will talk about what rebalancing portfolio is, how to do it, when to do it, why we should do it, and we start straight away. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Anastasia. On this channel I talk about investing and especially investing for beginners. I got into the topic of investing relatively recently, and already now I see the necessity of rebalancing my portfolio. So I started to study the topic, read about it, watch the videos about it, and I thought it was a good idea to record this video, and I hope that you will find it interesting and enjoyable. I also hope that you will find some information for you useful. If you do, please click the like button below. Also consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see more of my videos. In today's video, I will not be talking about rebalancing my own portfolio. I will make another video for that, but that's definitely something that I'm going to do in the nearest future. So what a rebalancing portfolio is and why it is so important? Well, at the beginning, when you just start investing, you should know how much money you want to invest and what percentage of this money you want to be invested into stocks and shares, into bonds, into cryptocurrency, into any other assets such as real estate or property, commodities, how much money you want to keep in cash. You must have a general understanding of how much of any asset you want to hold in your portfolio. It is important because every single asset involves different risks. So if you start investing early and you know that you're investing long term, you can take higher risks because you have all the chances that by the time you need this money and you decide to withdraw the money that you invested, the value of your portfolio will grow anyway, because with the period of time, the longer the better. Usually what happens is the market turns from bearish to bullish and you generate good profits. But if you are already thinking about retiring and your retirement age is not that far away, or you want to get money for some short-term goals, so your investment strategy is not long-term, then taking high risks maybe is not the best idea, because in the short term there is a high chance, or well, not maybe too high, but there is always a chance that the market will crash and you will lose some of the money that you need. That's why, for example, if you invest your money with the hope that in 2 years the value of your money will grow and you'll be able to pay for your wedding that you've already planned in 2 years' time, this might not be the best idea, just in case the crash happens right before your wedding and you will not have any time to recover. And then what? No wedding? That's not good. So that's why we need to rebalance our portfolio. Now let's talk about when we need to rebalance our portfolio. Some experts say that the most average time is 6 months to 1 year. So some people rebalance their portfolio every half a year, some do it every year, but you have to decide for yourself what is the most convenient frequency for you. And I don't see the reason of why anyone should follow this rule very strictly, because probably if you are investing, well, if you are watching this video, then for sure you follow the market even just a little bit, you are interested in what's going on, so you have the general idea of what is going on in the market and in your portfolio. You know that recently cryptocurrency grew, so probably cryptocurrency now has a much bigger share in your portfolio that you originally thought it would. That's why now it might be a good time to rebalance. This is what happened to me. I never thought that I will rebalance portfolio so quickly, but because of the bull run in cryptocurrency that we had, I realized that now is the perfect time for me to rebalance my portfolio before cryptocurrency falls again, and I regret that I have such high losses and I don't feel comfortable having so much money in my portfolio invested in crypto. I talk about it in many videos on my channel. I think that cryptocurrency is a very highly volatile and highly risky asset that I want to hold it, I want to have it in my portfolio, but I don't want to have a lot of it. And I don't want the total value of my portfolio to be so dependent on the cryptocurrency that's in it. So let's take an example of a portfolio. For example, you started investing a year ago and you had $10,000 to invest. You decided to invest into different assets. You weren't going to take very high risks. That's why you invested 50% of your portfolio into bonds. You invested 40% of your portfolio into stocks and shares and 10% into cryptocurrency. Since you invested $10,000 originally, you have now $5,000 invested into bonds, $4,000 into stocks and shares, and $1,000 into cryptocurrency. And as an example of cryptocurrency, let's take a Dogecoin. It's something that everybody is talking about right now, and it would give us a perfect example of what would happen had we invested $1,000 into Dogecoin just a year ago. Now, if you forgot about your portfolio completely for a year and you were to check it right now, these are the numbers that you'd see. Say the bonds wouldn't change too much because the price of bonds usually doesn't change, and the returns as well are pretty much the same. Bonds don't lose any value, but they also don't gain much. Over a year, you probably wouldn't notice any difference at all. So let's assume that nowadays you still have the same $5,000 invested into bonds. Now, if you invested all of your money that you allocated for stocks and shares into S&P 500 fund, it grew by 12% in the last year. So 12% of $4,000 that you had originally in S&P 500 comes to $480. So now altogether you would have $4,480 invested into S&P 500. Now we get to Dogecoin, and it sounds really dodgy. But if you invested $1,000 into Dogecoin a year ago, when the price of one coin was less than 1 cent, it would have grown by now massively. And now your $1,000 in Dogecoin would be worth $230,000. $230,000. I know it's sad. Don't cry. No, don't worry. There will be another opportunity. Your time will come. I should have invested into Dogecoin.
Why didn't I buy Dogecoin?
Anyway, I didn't. If you did, well done. Move on. So you see, now just 1 year later, the numbers that we'd see in our portfolio would be very different from the numbers that we originally invested, and the percentages would change massively as well. In fact, now, if you were to count the percentages of each asset that you hold in your portfolio, you'd realize that 96% of your total investment is in cryptocurrency, which is so unstable. And if you don't want to take such a high risk and potentially lose 96% of your portfolio, this is the time to rebalance. So how do you rebalance? It is very easy, and it is really just common sense. You have to analyze what strategy you want to follow now. If you haven't changed your strategy and you still want to have 50% allocated into bonds, 40% into stocks and shares, and 10% in cryptocurrency, then just go on and do it. Now your total portfolio would be worth around $250,000. So what you have to do is take 50% of that money and put it into bonds. So you'd have to buy more bonds. Then you have to take 40% of $250,000 and allocate this 40% into stocks and shares. So you'd have to buy more shares, and you'd have to sell a lot of cryptocurrency to bring it back down to original 10%. Of course, if that's something that you want to do. My example is not perfect because if you waited until your cryptocurrency takes 96% of your portfolio, you are probably a bit too late with rebalancing anyway. The usual number that experts are talking about is 10%. So if you see that one asset in your portfolio is 10% higher or 10% lower than you wanted it to be, this is when it is time to rebalance your portfolio. But it is a very individual and personal thing. I don't see the point in hiring a financial advisor for something like this, because to me this seems like just a common knowledge that doesn't take long. Usually it takes just several hours a year for those who want to rebalance their portfolio each year on a year-to-year basis, or there is an even easier way to do it. It's just by investing through Vanguard UK into a life strategy fund. This is where the manager of the fund rebalances it for you, and the weight of each share of each asset in your portfolio doesn't change. If you chose a life strategy fund where 80% is in stocks and shares and 20% is in bonds, you will not need to rebalance it, because these are the percentages that will always stay the same no matter what, because this is done for you by Vanguard. That is a very good reason to start investing into life strategy funds through Vanguard. Anyway guys, thank you for listening to me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Tell me, how do you rebalance your portfolios, and how many percentages of each asset do you invest in? Leave your comments below this video. I'll be very glad to see them. Thank you very much for your attention. See you soon. Bye bye.